You think you left, but you're still there. Not physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's the trap. That's the bond. And it's stronger than chains. Before we go further, hit subscribe. You're here for a reason. Don't let this be the last time you hear what you need to hear. Let's talk about trauma bonds. Not breakups, not heartbreak. Bonds. The kind that don't break when you walk away, the kind that follow you into your next relationship, into your sleep, into your prayers, into your silence. You think you're free, but you're not. You still check their page, you still replay the conversations, you still wonder what they're doing, who they're with, if they think about you. That's not love, that's not attachment, that's a trauma bond. And it doesn't care how strong you are, it doesn't care how much you know. It feeds on your weakness, your loneliness, your need to feel wanted. Here's the truth: trauma bonds form in cycles, high intensity, then nothing. Affection, then coldness, promises, then silence. You get just enough to stay, but never enough to heal. And your brain gets addicted. Not to them, to the cycle, the pain and relief, the chaos and calm, the fear and hope. That's the hook. That's what keeps you. Not their beauty, not their words, the pattern, the unpredictability. Your nervous system craves it. Even when your heart is broken, even when your mind says stop. You know what's crazy? You can hate someone and still be bonded to them. You can know they're wrong for you. You can see all the damage, all the lies, all the manipulation, and still feel pulled back. That's not weakness. That's brain chemistry. That's conditioning. That's what happens when pain and pleasure get mixed. When love and fear become the same thing, your body can't tell the difference anymore. So it keeps you hooked, waiting, hoping, hurting. So how do you break it? First, you have to see it. You have to call it what it is: not love, not loyalty, trauma, a bond built on pain, on confusion, on emotional highs and crushing lows. You don't heal what you won't name. Most people can't do this. They can't admit they were trapped. They reframe it as passion, as intensity, as deep connection. But deep doesn't mean healthy. Intense doesn't mean real. You can feel everything and still be in hell. So look at it clearly, without the filter, without the excuses. Was it peaceful? No. Was it consistent? No. Did you feel safe? No. Then it wasn't love, it was a trauma bond, and you need to accept that. Not to blame yourself, but to free yourself. Second, you cut the dopamine. No contact means no contact. Not sometimes, not when you're weak, not on their birthday. Never. Block the number, delete the messages, unfollow every account, remove every trace. I know it feels extreme, but half measures don't work. You can't detox while sipping poison. You can't heal while feeding the wound. Every time you check on them, you reset the clock. Every message is a step backward. Every late night text is another chain. You think you're strong enough to stay distant. You're not. None of us are. Not when the bond is still alive. Your brain will fight you. It will tell you to reach out just once, just to see, just to know they're okay. That's the addiction talking, not your heart, not your logic. The wiring in your brain that got hijacked. You have to starve it. No food, no fuel, no contact. The first week is the hardest. Your hands will shake. Your chest will feel tight. You'll want to break. Don't sit with it. Feel it. Let the wave pass. It will. Every time you resist, you get stronger. Every time you give in, you start over. Third, you replace the pattern. Your brain is wired now. It expects chaos. It craves intensity. So you have to rewire it with peace, with routine, with stability. That sounds boring, I know. But boring is what saves you. Boring is what heals you. Pray at the same time every day, train at the same time, sleep at the same time, eat with intention, move with purpose, build structure where there was chaos. Your nervous system will resist. It will feel empty, flat, boring. That's withdrawal. That's your brain detoxing from the drama. Let it happen. Don't run back for the hit. Most people fail here because peace feels like death after chaos. Calm feels like numbness after intensity. But it's not. It's recovery. It's your body learning to breathe again without the constant threat, without the constant high, without the roller coaster. Give it time. Your system will adjust, and one day peace will feel like home, not like prison. Fourth, you face the void. This is the hardest part. When you remove them, you're left with yourself. And most people can't handle that. So they fill the void with someone new, with distractions, with work, with anything. But the void is where the healing happens. You have to sit in it, feel it, let it teach you. What were you running from? What need were they filling? What part of you was broken before they came? These are the questions that hurt, but they're the ones that set you free because the bond isn't really about them. It's about what they represented: safety, validation, worth. And if you needed them to feel those things, you'll need someone else too. Until you learn to give them to yourself, this is where the real work begins. Not in leaving, but in staying with yourself. In the silence, in the discomfort, in the truth. You have to ask yourself hard questions. Why did I tolerate that? Why did I stay when I should have left? Why did I ignore the red flags? Why did I make excuses for them? The answers will hurt because they'll point back to you. Not to blame you, but to show you where you need to grow, where you need to heal, where you need to build. Boundaries. Fifth, you rebuild your identity. Trauma bonds don't just drain you, they erase you. You lose yourself in the chaos, your opinions, your goals, your standards, your peace. Everything becomes about them, what they want, what they feel, what they'll do next, and you shrink. You become smaller, quieter, less. So now you expand again, slowly, intentionally start with small things. What do you actually enjoy? Not what they liked, not what you did together. What brings you peace? What makes you feel alive? Go back to those things or find new ones. Read again, write again, create again. Train your body, sharpen your mind, strengthen your soul. Become someone you respect. Not for them, for you. Rediscover your voice, your preferences, your boundaries, your non-negotiables. Who are you without them? That's the question. And the answer is waiting in the silence, in the solitude, in the daily choices you make to honor yourself, to protect yourself, to choose yourself. Sixth, you stop romanticizing the past. This is where most people fail. They forget the pain. They remember the highlights, the good days, the sweet words, the moments of warmth, and they think, maybe it wasn't that bad. Yes, it was. You left for a reason. You cried for a reason. You lost yourself for a reason. Don't rewrite history to make them a hero. They weren't, and neither were you. It was toxic on both sides. Own that, accept it, and move on. Stop scrolling through old photos. Stop replaying the good memories. Stop telling yourself it was mostly good. If it was mostly good, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be trying to break free. The bad outweighed the good. The pain outweighed the peace. The fear outweighed the love. That's the truth. And you need to remember it every time you feel weak. Every time you want to go back, every time you think maybe you overreacted, you didn't, you survived, and now you're healing. Don't undo that for a memory. Seventh, you stop waiting for closure, for an apology, for them to realize what they lost. None of that is coming, and even if it did, it wouldn't fix you. Closure is something you give yourself. You decide it's over, you decide you're done, you decide to let go, not because they changed, but because you did. They don't need to understand. They don't need to agree. They don't need to validate your decision. You're not leaving for their permission. You're leaving for your peace, and that's enough. Most people waste years waiting for the conversation that will make sense of it all, for the apology that will heal the wounds, for the moment they'll finally see the truth. It won't happen, or if it does, it won't matter, because by then you'll already be free, or you'll still be stuck waiting for something outside yourself to fix what's inside. Stop waiting, start walking. Eighth, you protect your future. Trauma. Bonds teach you patterns, and if you're not careful, you'll repeat them with someone new, someone who feels familiar, who triggers the same intensity, the same chaos, and you'll think it's chemistry. It's not. It's trauma recognition, your body remembering the cycle. So you have to be intentional about who you let in, about what you tolerate, about the red flags you ignore. If it feels too intense, too fast, walk away. If they're inconsistent, walk away. If they love bomb you, walk away. If they make you question your reality, walk away. Real love is steady, calm, consistent. It doesn't feel like a drug. It feels like home. It doesn't make you anxious. It makes you secure. It doesn't drain you. It fills you. Learn the difference before you give your heart again, before you invest your time again, before you lose yourself again. Your future depends on it. Ninth, you give it time. I know you want to be over it now. You want to wake up free, healed, whole, but that's not how it works. Healing is slow, messy, nonlinear. Some days you'll feel strong, some days you'll want to go back. That's normal. Don't judge yourself for it, just don't act on it. Feel the urge, let it pass, and keep moving forward month by month, week by week, day by day, one choice at a time. There's no timeline for this, no magic number of days, no finish line you cross. It's a process, and everyone moves at their own pace. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small wins, the days you didn't check, the nights you didn't cry, the moments you chose peace over chaos. Those are victories, and they add up until one day you realize you haven't thought about them in weeks. You haven't missed them in months. You've moved on, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. 10th, you remember why you're doing this, not to punish them, not to prove something, to reclaim yourself, your peace, your power, your future. You're not breaking a bond to be alone forever. You're breaking it to be free, free to love yourself, free to build a life you're proud of, free to choose someone worthy when the time is right. Not out of need, but out of wholeness. Trauma bonds break you, but breaking them builds you stronger, wiser, clearer. You'll look back one day and you won't miss them. You'll thank yourself for having the courage to walk away, for having the discipline to stay away, for choosing yourself when it hurt the most. That's not selfish. That's survival, that's growth, that's freedom, and it's worth every hard day, every lonely night, every moment of doubt, because on the other side is a version of you that doesn't settle, that doesn't shrink, that doesn't lose itself for anyone, a version that knows its worth, that protects its peace, that chooses with clarity. That's who you're becoming, not by staying, but by leaving, not by holding on, but by letting go. So if you're still holding on, let go. If you're still checking, stop. If you're still hoping, redirect that hope toward yourself, toward your healing, toward the life waiting for you on the other side. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Every single day, every single step, every single choice. You're not just breaking a bond, you're breaking a cycle. And that takes strength, real strength, the kind that doesn't show up loud, but shows up daily in the quiet decisions, in the boundaries you hold, in the space you protect. That's power, that's freedom, that's you. Now hit that subscribe button. This journey requires reminders.